Today we are finally back in our Minecraft survival world, and I know it has been a while, but I did take a short break and I have been doing a few things in real life because I've been working on a few things which you will be seeing very soon on the channel. But today I've got a bunch of stuff I want to get done, including some terraforming, some interior work, and a little bit of building as well. But before we get started, don't forget to turn that subscribe button grey, and with that being said, let's get to work. So we're going to kickstart this one off with a good old-fashioned time-lapse. Now, I will warn you guys, this is pretty fast-paced because we have about 10 hours worth of recording, all crammed down into about 4 minutes worth of video. So there's a lot of work done here. Now, this is going to actually become a bunch of farmland. So I wanted to kind of just smooth this area out. But I didn't want this to become just farmland and start looking like just repetitive fields all over the place. I wanted to add a few nice features. So I wanted to include a few things like some cliffs, a little stream, a water mill, and then maybe we can add some forest area at the top here. Maybe turn it into a little bit of a kind of woodcutter's lodge or something along those lines. Because at the very top here, we have this kind of valley that runs through from the front here towards the back of the mountains. And this is going to be great for our farmland. But like I said, too much farmland is not going to look great. I don't want to just fill this all with farmland. I want some nice features in there because we've got quite a sort of large looking town, you know, we've got some large buildings, and having a load of farmlands without kind of breaking it down slowly with a few little builds in between, it's just going to be sort of going from a full village into sort of nothing, into sort of a load of farmland. It's going to be very flat. So we need to make sure that we get some details in there that's going to really bring everything out. Now, as you can see, we started off by adding this cliff over here. Now, along the water's edge here, I think this area is just going to be kind of like a garden. We'll turn this into a bunch of like bushes and trees, maybe a little seating area, just somewhere to come and chill out. I think this would be a nice little area to come away from the village. Now, over at the side here, you can see where that path is. That's where I want to put a stream. And to the side of that little outline, I want that to be the water mill. So the stream is going to flow down into the water mill, making it feel much more realistic. At the top of the cliff there, I think that's going to be a great area to add some wooded area and maybe have a woodcutter's lodge or something like that there. I think it's a kind of good spot. It's overlooking the ocean, overlooking a bit of the town. And I'm not going to lie to you, filling in that river was one of the longest jobs, or the second longest job that I did on this part of the video. It took me forever. I can't believe how long just one small river took to fill. Now, coming over to this side of the mountain here, I've got to say this area just looked a mess. This whole bit of the terrain here just had holes and was just kind of all over the place. So I figured the best thing to do would be to create a bit of a cliff and section the whole area off. Now, I have got to come back here at some point because at the moment we've only got a little edge across the top of the cliff. So we need to fill in the rest of it behind it and smooth it off with the rest of the terrain. So we will be coming back and doing that a bit later on. But for now, it looks pretty nice across the front here. Now, coming over to the mountainside here, which kind of leads up and behind the back of the town we've been building, I really wanted to do something with this because it's quite a large piece of mountain and it's definitely all over the place with shape. So I wanted to take away a fairly large portion of it, but still enough to leave a good sized mountain that would blend down into the valley here. So I kind of mess around back and forth. I took off a big chunk of it, I added a bit of a chunk, and I kind of played around with it all. But I got there eventually and had a nice kind of smooth slope. So now it will blend down into the valley without sort of overtaking everything at the front of it. So it gives us a much better sort of line for paths and stuff like that. Now, I'm not going to lie, this took me so long. Digging away these edges of the mountain here and trying to shape it and everything. This is probably the longest part of the job in total and probably where I spent most of my time. Once that was all done, I decided to just put in a few paths and just kind of neaten up the area. I added a little bridge going over the stream and kind of just added a few little trees and bushes just to get a bit of a feel for what I wanted for this area. Because I want this to feel more decorative than anything. I don't really want to make it look too built up. I would like to include a windmill and a few little houses like the woodcutter's lodge. But other than that, I want to keep this area fairly simple, fairly clean, and just sort of more on the decorative side. Now, with that being said, I think we've done a bunch of terraforming now, and it's time to get back in the world and have a look at what we've done. Okay, so things are starting to shape up. We've got this nice cliff in place here, and like I said, I have got to finish off all behind it, but overall I think the area is really starting to come together. I love this little stream down here that's going to run all the way down to here. This little block here, this is going to be a little water mill, so we're going to have a water wheel just at the side here, which is going to operate the machinery and whatnot inside. And I think this little river flying down here kind of gives it a more of a realistic look, so that'll be what will power the wheel as it goes around. So I think that's looking pretty good. Over here we're going to have a bit of a garden. Let's jump down and fly down and have a better look down here. So as you can see, we've got a nice little cliff over here, which I think looks really good. It's not too big, but like I said, this is just going to be a bit more of a decorative area. Then we've got our nice little path that comes all the way up here, around here. Now I think up here is going to be the perfect spot to have some kind of woodcutter's lodge, and maybe we could just put in some trees and some chopped down trees, like some little logs sticking up, so that it looks like there's been some kind of tree chopping going on. And I think that would work out really well down here. Maybe we get rid of some of these trees here and put in some big spruce trees and stuff, some custom ones that would look a little bit more fitting for a wood lodge area. And then if we come back over the bridge, which I think is really cool. It's just a simple bridge, a little diagonal bridge, but I think it's really cool. And we've got these little stumps to kind of hold it up in the water as well, which I think look pretty nice. Now the trees here, they are just little basic trees, but they do add a bunch of life to the area. And I will be adding in some proper full-on custom trees in here. Maybe some big oak trees or some willow trees or something of the sort. Now over here we've got the hill, so there's going to be a path that comes around the side of the hill here that kind of comes through this kind of, I guess it's kind of like a bit of a valley, the way that again it's going to come through here. Now I'm not sure what's going to be at the back here. I'm debating if to build a custom lake into there, but I'm not certain just yet. But around here I want to add in a bunch of fields. I want to put in a windmill, which I don't know, I might put the windmill up on this little bit of the hill here, or maybe even into the side of the hill here, I'm not sure. But on top of the hill, I want to build maybe like an observatory or something of the sorts. Ignore my floating slabs there, that was for some trees that I was chopping down to gather up a few more materials. I think up here would be a good spot for an observatory, kind of high up overlooking the town. Give it a nice sort of look towards the sky, so I think that might be a cool idea for here. But we'll have to create a bit more terraforming, some pathway and stuff that's going to connect into here somehow, so we'll make a nice pathway for that at some point. But overall guys, I've got to say I'm really happy with the way things are shaping up here. I do have a little bit of building I want to do, so I want to build a little bit of an animal pen. I want to get an animal pen just in here because we created this area quite a while ago now and I still have not done nothing with it. So I really want to get an animal pen, quite a large one at the back here. Maybe we'll have about 4 pens or so in here. I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, I think what I want to do is do some interior work because we've got all these buildings here and I only have one building with a full interior, which is my starter base. So I think we need to start getting some of those in place. But first of all, I've got to run over to the end portal. Well, not the end portal, but more so towards where the end portal is, because there is a big room with a bunch of shelves there and I want to grab those. But before I do that, I'm going to need silk touch on my axe. So let me see if we can do that. What's happening now today, my dudes? It feels like it's been forever since I've been here. Let's see what we can trade. We need some emeralds because we are really poor on emeralds. So I've got a bunch of stuff to be trading with them. So let's see what we can get. 6 emeralds so far. So we got a fair bit to trade here, and we got this one full here to do some trading as well. So we should be able to get plenty of emeralds. And what do we have silk touch for? Silk touch is 12, so that should be good. Alright guys, let's get trading. Okay, Potato Boy don't want to do no more trades. So do we have one? Yeah, we can now trade ourselves some paper on here with this guy. So let's keep stocking them up. Okay, we're just about locked out of trades, but Jimmy here wants to trade with us a book and this for a silk touch book. So I've still got a bunch of stuff here that I can trade, but we're locked out of trades with our farmer and stuff. So we'll come back another time and do that. For now, we've got plenty to get on with. And before we go, we're going to whack some silk touch on there. And there we go. We are ready to go. I don't think so. You guys catch me off guard way too many times. So, I guess you never thought you'd see this. Me in a boat with an elytra. Makes complete sense, right? I know, guys, I've got no rockets. I am out of rocket fuel. So we need to get a creeper farm or a mob farm going at some point so that we can get more of them. So for now, I'm just having to row my boat, I guess. Okay, we found the stronghold, and I'm pretty sure there are 2 libraries in here, so we should be able to find them somewhere. I'm sure there's one. Aha, there we go. There's one here. So I can go ahead now and get the books. Yep, perfect. So let's go ahead and grab up all of these bookshelves, and then we're going to go ahead, find the other library, and do exactly the same. Now, while we're here, I have got some shulkers so I can store all of this. But I also want to set up a nether portal so that it's a little bit easier to get to the end portal rather than having to keep traveling here every time, because it's a little bit of a pain, but it'll be a little bit faster doing it through the nether. Okay, so we've got all of the bookshelves from downstairs. Now we're just going to grab these ones here, and my gosh, there are so many more bookshelves than I actually realized. What we got in here? Not bad. Yeah, might as well just grab whatever's in there. Okay, library is pretty much completely raided at this point. I think we'll find the next one. Okay, library number 2. Time for some more raiding. Okay, only a couple of books and that in there, so not much, but we'll still take the chest. Why not? Okay, and we're nearly there. Just a few more bookshelves to go, and then we should be able to find the end portal and see if we can just set up our nether portal. Alright, not bad. We got nearly 7.5 stacks of bookshelves, which is pretty cool. We got 15 books, and we got a few enchanted books as well. So that's a pretty good raid. Now, we just need to find the end portal again and see if we can set up our nether portal. Okay, it took a while, but I found the end portal room. So we're going to go ahead and put our nether portal right about here. I think that should do the job. There we go. So now it should make it a little bit easier when we want to get to the end. Okay, this nether portal is totally not in a very nice spot. So we're going to go ahead and just fill in some of the lava, because I know what I'm like. I will walk straight through the lava and lose all my items, which is not going to be what we want. So let's be safe. Okay, nether portal here will do for now. I will link it up with a tunnel to our other one at some point. But for now, I just want to head back to base and try and work out a little bit of a pathway so that we can get there easily in the future. Okay, we've got a very basic pathway in here. This just leads round to our nether portal now, so we haven't got to worry about that. Now, this is going to turn into a nether hub at some point soon, so we're going to start working on some kind of design. So maybe you guys can let me know what sort of design and colours do you think we should go with in here. Should we make it all dark and sort of evil looking, or should we bring the overworld into the nether? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But what we will do is we will connect some pathways up. So we'll have a hub of sorcery in here, and we'll have a pathway that will lead straight to the nether portal from here. I'm going to probably bring the nether portal down so it's on the same Y level, so that we haven't got to be going up and down stairs, just to make it a little bit faster for travel. But anyway, guys, I think it's time we head back to base because we've got a bit of building to get done. Okay, time to get back to work. So as you can see, we've got a layout here. So we've basically got a 3-block gap here and a 5-block gap between the back ones. So basically going to have 4 pens coming all the way across here. Now, it's going to be a pretty simple little design. I think we're going to have these ones at 2 blocks high. And then the ones here, I think, are going to be 3 blocks. This one here, I think, might have to be 4. So we'll go with 4. Then this one should be 3, 3, and then same just like this. Now we're going to just go ahead and put a little pillar in front of these just for a bit of detail. We will go ahead and put a stair just in front of these ones all the way across. And then I'm going to go for the stripped wood because I do love the dark oak stripped wood. I think it looks really nice and it blends well with the spruce too. Okay, so let's get these done like this. Now, one thing that I don't use very often, and that is barrels as a detail block, like a building block. I use it more so just for like interiors and stuff. But one thing I have noticed is that it does look really nice and certainly not placed like that. Let's do that again. it does look really nice when placed like this as a base for some walls. So while this is not going to really be used for storage, and I wish I could place them properly, it will be nice as a little detail across the bottom of the walls. So something along these lines, and then we'll use it again here as a divider if I can just place them properly. There we go. And then one more row. And I think overall this is quite a nice kind of detail for the kind of base. I think it just adds, I don't know, just a nice little sort of feature to the bottom of the wall. Rather than it being plain and spruce wood all the way around, sort of following the same pattern, it just breaks it up. So the top half of the walls are just going to be pretty simple. We're just going to use some spruce planks inside here to detail this. Now, as you can see, because we've got two different woods here, or two different kind of blocks, that bottom bit just adds a kind of sort of paneling to the bottom of the walls, which just looks really cool. We're going to use spruce fences to add kind of like a bit of an air vent, because being some little stables here with animals in, they would get smelly. So we need to make sure we've got some air vents in there so that they can breathe. Okay, as you can see, the roof is quite a smooth curve. Now, a lot of people always struggle with doing these little curves, but they're really simple. You start with just some normal slabs. As you can see, we're stepping it up, and then we just start to extend it. So rather than going across by 1 and then up, we go across by 2. And then because we're in the center point here, we've got 3, which meets the center point of the roof. And the same as on this side. So we come up, then we got 2, and then we got 3, which will meet the center point here. And I think it just, you know, I like these little roofs because these are kind of like almost like little farming roofs, you know. They look like they're small, they're like little kind of hut shapes. And yeah, I think they look pretty cool. Okay, now we're just going to get our roof in place. We're just going to fill the 4 blocks all the way across first of all, just to make it a little bit easier. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead. Let's get some of the slabs in place like so. And there we go. Now, this does look nice, but I want to make it look a little bit rough. So let's just go ahead. Maybe we'll put in a couple of odd placed ones of these. Just a couple. I just want some on this side. Yeah, something like that should do. Okay, now for the little vent here, it's pretty simple. We're going to add a little kind of window with those, or like it's more of a frame than a window. Just like this. Do it all the way around. And then basically this little vent here is just sort of open enough to allow all of the smells and whatever else out of the place. Now, I think what we're going to need to do here is probably go like this. And then we can get ourselves up here. We'll put 4 blocks all the way around like so. Might as well just put one in the middle for now. Now, we're going to put in a slab on top of the fences. Slabs in the gaps. Let's add a stair on each side like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a little cross. We'll go 1 and 2. Then we can just simply put in our stairs. Alright, I gotta say, I actually really like this design. It's pretty simple, but I think it looks really cool. And it gives us 4 animal pens, so we can get some animals in here at some point. So we'll probably get some cows, some sheep, maybe some pigs or whatever. Put them inside and we can breed them up and use them for some food. But for now, I think we're going to leave this area as it is because I want to do a little bit of interior work. So I will come back here probably off camera, and what I'll do is I'll put some dirt and whatever around here, maybe a bit of dirt path, bring the pathway all the way through and connect it up to here. I'll work out some better lighting in here, probably with some lanterns. And I'll probably add a couple of bushes and trees around the back. Around here. Maybe some trees, bushes, maybe even a bit of storage, some hay. Maybe I'll put a couple of little animal sort of feeding troughs or water troughs just out here as well. Just to add a little bit of detail to finish it up. But I'll get that done off camera. But I think the next step is going to be interior, because we've got a lot of interiors to get through. So I'm not going to do all of them today, but I'm definitely going to get started, and hopefully I think I want to do the Fisherman's Hut and the Lighthouse. I think we're just going to get some basic interiors in those, and that should really kind of start to make things sort of just feel a little bit more full of life, because right now all the buildings are just empty. They just feel like they're just shells of everything. Okay, let's start with our lighthouse, and for this we're going to just keep it pretty simple. So I think we'll start with just some bookshelves in here. Then I think we're going to have a little kind of, I suppose like a little keg or a little barrel over here. Something kind of along those lines. Maybe a little bush there just for some decoration. We'll place a little lantern just there just to give us a little bit of light for the moment. In this little corner here, I think maybe a kind of like a corner sort of chair, something like that. Maybe let's turn it this way. That way we kind of look like we get like an arm on each side, kind of a bit like a sofa. A little table just there. We can put some flower pots on these to look like cups. We'll also put a flower pot over in that corner there, which we'll put a little sapling or something in there in just a moment. Let's see if we do something like that, I think, because I don't want to block that window too much. So we'll do something like that. We could then maybe add a little extra extension here, maybe like that. Couple of slabs, and then something like that. Then we can have our pipe going up here, roughly. So let's just put that just there for the moment. I'll move this and connect it up in just a minute, but we can, I think, reach that one there, and then boom, something like that, and then we'll put one just in here. So to finish the fireplace, we're going to go ahead and put in our 4-block there, our campfire, and some iron bars there, which I think look pretty cool. And then I think we're probably pretty good in here now. So let's see if we can add some chains. So maybe on the 3rd one, we'll bring it down by 3. And then we'll do the same about here. 1, 2, 3. And that should be good enough to add in a lantern and a lantern. And hopefully that should give us enough brightness in here if we remove these torches without having any mobs spawn around us. So that should be good. Okay, right, I think that is pretty good. We don't need to really overdo anything. One thing I will do is add a couple of saplings, so we can put a sapling in there and a sapling in there just to make it look a bit nicer. Oh, and I think what we will do is get some of these and place some just there. Yeah, this is looking nice. Nice and simple. And is there anything we can do with the upstairs? Let's have a look. So it's pretty small up here and looks like I already added a couple of things. So I'm going to just go ahead and place one of those. I think I'm going to put a lantern just there. And then I think I've got some trapdoors. Yes, I do. I've got some trapdoors. We could just go ahead, maybe just section this little area like so. Make it look like there's a little shelf in there. And to be honest, we don't really have much room to do anything else except for maybe a little decorative plant. Maybe we can put one there. Boom, and something like that. Just in case whoever's watching the Lighthouse wants a little bit of a chill out. So I already had some slight plans in place already for the fisherman's hut. So we've got this little thing on the back wall here, and we have got a little area here which is going to be a bedroom, maybe for the fishermen if they want to do some night fishing or something of the sorts. So let's go ahead and just start doing a few details. So first of all, I'm going to add a couple of shelves. I think something along these lines, something around there. We are going to have a little sink over here, or not a little sink, a little cooking area just here, because this is a fisherman's hut, so I'm imagining they're going to be cooking a fair bit of fish. Barrels, we're going to place a barrel just there. Now it's looking a little bit dark, so we need to put in a lantern, maybe one just about there. I think that looks pretty cozy. Now, I kind of want this to be the area for the fishermen, and maybe they can have like a counter for serving like people who come in, people who might want some fish or something like that. So I'm thinking we're going to make like a kind of a little bit of a bar sort of here. We could put that on there and perhaps do something like that. I think that looks pretty cool. So this would be kind of like a little bar, not a bar, like a little serving area, you know, for customers. I think maybe we should add some beams coming across the roof here, just to section off everything, so we could put in a few of these. Because we've got these little cookers here, we're going to make a little bit of a kind of extractor sort of area just here. So we're going to just bring down some stone bricks like so. I think we're going to just add a couple of those for the moment. place one there. Kind of, yeah, I like that. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go ahead and maybe we'll put in a couple of barrels just here. We could also, let's see, could we make like a little kind of table that's crouched, something coming out just about there, like a little workstation. And then maybe, because we got this little bar here, rather, let's go ahead and do something like that. And what we could do is bring this all the way over like this. Now, I can't do it on that one. So what we're going to have to do is get rid of that one for now. Replace that one there. And I think what we'll do is probably remove one of the torches. And then we should be able to go like that. Perfect. There we go. That looks really nice. Nice little kind of bar area. We'll put a torch there. Yeah, I'm starting to like this. Now, I think we need somewhere to put some fish, like some live fish for someone to sort of pull out that they want to buy, maybe. So, maybe something like this, like a little kind of fish container. We can put some water in there. We can have it open with one of these like this. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. Now this end down here is looking a little empty, so we need to do something over here. So let's start by adding a pillar in this corner, and we'll get rid of that little bit just up there. So we'll add a pillar all the way down here. I think we're just going to go for one wide. So we'll go right in the center here, bring another pillar all the way down. We have ran out. I have got some more in my chest or in my shoulders. Let me just grab some of that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And then what we'll do is we'll put in a little kind of unit. So kind of looks like a little kind of table kind of thing. And yeah, I don't want to overpack that corner, because if I do, it's going to look a little bit funny because we got the little edging around here. So I think I'm just going to leave that like that. We'll put some water in here with some fish. I think that would be pretty cool. Let's get some frames. So we'll put a frame up here. I think we'll put like a fish in there to say there's like fresh fish in here. We can put a little sign here to say that this is for cooking fish. We could maybe imagine there is something on here. Maybe we could even actually put like a little seat in area, something like that. Let's add a composter with some leaves. And yeah, I think that might actually do it. I think that looks pretty good. We probably could do some flower pots and stuff like that in here. So let's get some flower pots, maybe a couple of flowers. So we could put one maybe just there, just for a little detail. Maybe another one just up on the shelf, something just about there. Maybe we could label these maybe some fishing rods if people want to go fishing, and maybe, I don't know, something else. So we'll label those up as well. But yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. Over here, we're going to keep this pretty simple, kind of like a simple little bedroom really. So we're going to have a barrel there, I think a barrel here. Do we have some beds? I'm sure I had some green beds in here. Yep, I did. So we can place a bed at each side, so they both have their own bedside cabinet. Maybe one of them can have a little flower by the side of their bed. Let's put a bedroom door. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, I think we're going to make a little kind of cupboard in here, like a little storage cupboard. Let's do something like this. We'll bring down our pillar all the way down to the bottom. We'll put in a pillar across there. And of course, we're going to strip this like we have been. 4 campfires like so. Again, I will grab some raw food to put on there, some raw fish. And then, if we get our doors, we should be able to come in here and go 1, 2. There we go. And we got a nice little cupboard. So this one, we can fit a nice one perfectly in the corner here. Really simple design. Nothing much to it. But it does add a lot of detail. So let's get rid of that. Perfect. Okay, this room is already starting to look pretty nice. I think we need something else in here, though. Let's add a little bush just for a little bit of greenery in here. Feels a little bit a little bit plain without it, and then we can put a little table in the corner, something like so. So I think we're going to just add a few chains coming down, about 3, and then I'm going to do another one just here. I know it's fairly close, but it feels a little bit odd if we don't have one at each side. There we go. Adds a bit of brightness to the room. Now, just ignore my shulkers and that. That's just for my own personal storage, making a mess in the house. But I think this is looking good. Okay, I think this room is looking really cool. I actually really like the way this is decorated. Obviously, I've still got to add some fish to these little item frames. Maybe some cooked fish, a raw fish over here. I'll put some water in here and see if I can collect some fish to go in here as well. But yeah, overall, I think this is looking really cool. It's simple. Maybe a little bit of carpet might add a nice little bit of color to the rooms and that. But I think this looks really nice. I'm really happy with this. I think next time we do need to start working on some of our other interiors as well, because they are sort of slacking a little bit. But guys, I'm afraid that is all we have time for today. So as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.